So this is my 24-gallon JBJ Nano Cube. I bought this thing around January, and there was a few problems. I did a rookie mistake, and I bought this tank without actually water testing it first to make sure it didn't leak. And I impulse bought it. At the time I had a 40-gallon tank that just had soft corals in it. Just had maybe a couple of mushrooms and a couple of spots of zinnia and athalia. And I seen this on Facebook neighborhood marketplace and messaged the guy. He said he still had it, so I just went and bought it. And it came with the stand and the lid and everything. Of course I'll get to that, but I'm gonna do everything in a separate video, as far as corals, inverts, fish, how I made my stand, how I made my hood, what I have in my tank. But right now this is just a video to basically show you what I have and how I got the tank at first and how I got into the hobby. Well, anyhow, like I was saying, I went and got this tank to this guy's house, and it was his wife's tank. She used it in her school because she was a teacher. She used it for her students in her school to teach them about marine biology, and she had a science class. Well, anyhow, I went up there and I just impulse bought this thing for $100. I mean, it was well worth it. It came with a bunch of stuff. Let's see if I can't show you. Well, it came with a whole bunch of Camp Marine stuff and dosing things and test kits and all kinds of stuff. So I thought $100 was well worth it. I didn't water test it to make sure it didn't leak. Brought it home. Was so excited. At the time, it had all this rock in it, but it didn't have this substrate. What it had in it was crushed coral. I'm not really a big fan of crushed coral for a substrate. So what I did was I had a bag of aragonite live sand, which is this peppered stuff you see now, and I got it from a friend who got me into the hobby. And he was like, "Hey man, I got you some substrate for your new tank and get it all set up." And I was like, "Oh heck yeah, dude, sweet." So I took all the rock out and I cleaned the tank. It was pretty rough. It's been sitting for a while out in the garage, so that should have been my first indication of this tank was probably going to leak. So I, like a rookie in January, just cleaned it out, make sure it was all ready, cleaned out all the sponges and the bio balls, and basically was doing my own leak test. Well, I had it on its own stand that it came with, which was the JBJ stand. Filled her up with water, made sure all my electrical stuff worked, my pumps worked, got her all set up, and then started filling it with water. Well, the first 2 days was great. No water leaks, couldn't find a single bit of water. The third day, noticed there was a pool of water on the bottom left corner of the tank, and what happened was it was leaking from this back corner, and I guess I had the tank unlevel at the time, and it was leaking from the back inside corner in here under the tank, and was leaking all the way across to where it was unlevel to about right here, coming out of the tank from underneath. And I was like, okay, well that's an easy fix. So I drained it, got me some silicone the next day, silicone the bottom, basically just patched it in a way because I was in such an impatient hurry, and filled it up back with water. Well, I started noticing some leaks around the black silicone that used to exist right here, but now it's white. I redid it. So okay, I drained it once again and started to get a razor blade and peel all the existing factory silicone that was on it. It was all originally black, all the way across and all the way to the back of the tank as well, and also on the back, but I can't really show you because of the wall and curtain. But what happened was I had to peel that all off, re-silicone it, wait basically 3 days for all the silicone to cure. The first time when I siliconed it, obviously waited for cure time. I forgot to say that. And filled it up back with water. Well, guess what happened? I had another leak from the bottom. So what I decided to do is make about, I would say about a 3 to 4 inch strip of silicone all the way in the inside of the tank on the bottom. I had the tank flipped over at the time, and I said, well, if it leaks this time, after this I'm getting impatient and I'm getting upset. I am just going to silicone the whole bottom and eliminate this problem. Well, luckily that worked and I didn't have any more leaks. And then I started my cycling process after I got it all filled up again. Put my substrate in, my rocks, my water, biological media, filter media, all that other good stuff, and began the process of cycling the tank. At the time, it still had its hood on. This is going to be a different video. I'm going to try to get as many videos as I can out on this tank instead of it just grouping it into like a 14 long video. I'm trying to make a series, basically, is what I'm getting at. And did all the substrate and the aquascape and all that good stuff, and got rid of my 40 gallon and practically took what I had in my 40 gallon, which was these mushrooms here, which wasn't as near as well grown, I guess, as I could say. Kind of stuttered there for a second, blanked out. And I had some Athelia and I had some zinnia. All I had. That's every bit of coral I had. Well, after that, after this cycled, I started getting bored with the top and I didn't like it. So I got rid of that and built my own setup. But I've had the tank since January, I would say January 14th or the 20th. I'm not sure which one I bought it. I'm pretty sure it's the 20th of January of 17. And it's been going since then strong. Haven't had any problems with it. If anything, I've just can't leave it alone and I keep upgrading it. But how I got into the hobby was one of my friends actually had one of these tanks, but he had a 29 gallon JPJ, or I think it's Core Life, I'm not sure which one it is. But he had a 29 gallon and it was pretty nice and set up. Man, immediately when I saw that marine tank, I was like, I got to do one. So I picked me up a 40 gallon and I really went the wrong way with it. I spent too much money. I impulse buy everything, and I ended up spending a lot of money for a tank that I just got rid of in the long run for this littler one. And you're probably asking me, dude, why did you get rid of a 40 gallon compared to a 24 gallon? Well, the answer is simple to that. I didn't feel like drilling the tank and potentially busting it or having leaks or anything like that compared to this all-in-one tank where it has the filtration built into it. And I just wanted something smaller that wouldn't take as much as my time to clean and really keep up with maintenance. You know, water changes would be stupid easy, you know, 5 gallon bucket every week, water change, just to simplify everything. And that's how I actually got into it. Was I seen his and I was like, I gotta have one. And as soon as I seen it, I was like, yep, that's what I'm doing. So keep watching, or I'm gonna keep making videos And like, subscribe, ask questions. I can answer them. I've been in the hobby for about a year, practically. You know, this is my actual first nano. I've had it going for maybe 6-7 months, and I'm actually enjoying the nano better than I was the 40, which a 40 could technically be called nano, I guess, compared to some of those guys that have the 300 gallons, 500 gallons, 120s. I mean, tanks are pretty much unlimited to size compared to imagination. So, just I'll keep y'all posted, and I'll keep making videos, and I'd really appreciate it if you'd like and subscribed. I'm trying to make a channel to help everyone, and to have help on keeping people from doing what I did, on making mistakes and saving money, because my wife freaking hates this hobby because how much money I spent on it just because I didn't pay attention and I wasn't slow or patient. So I'll see you later, YouTube.